The question is, will the 54 recruits be replaced? I will explain in detail, both historical and currently. After I have explained in detail, you will find out that it is impossible. It is more than impossible to replace even one of the 54. Even if the president wrote a letter, even if the IGP intervened, it is impossible. But then I'll have to tell you this. Before I tell you what I want to tell you is that a lot of technology has really changed, such that when I was employed in 1982, it was impossible to replace such people in such a situation. But the technologically wise, things have changed so much that if it was impossible in 1982 to replace such a recruit, because these things have been happening. It is only that this time that it is public, but these things have been happening, and it is obvious that it does happen. So what I wanted to tell you is that if it was impossible in 1982 to replace a recruit in such a situation, today it is double impossible. Even America can't do that. Let me say this. At the recruitment center, every recruitment center is given several chances. And if a recruitment center is given so many chances, that is the maximum. That is the maximum. You can only recruit up to that number or below. You can even not even recruit anybody. Suppose you go to a recruitment center and find none of the people is either interested or they are interested, but they do not fit to be recruited into the police. What do? You'll just declare that place. So many people came, none of them was qualified, or we were there and nobody came. We inquired around, we were told they were aware that there were going to be a recruitment and they refused. So it can be 0 up to the number that you are given for that recruitment center. Usually recruitment center is divided so equally per sub-district, whereby each sub-district is, or sub-county, each sub-county is given a certain number, recruit so many girls and so many boys. That is how they do it per sub-county. Now, if you go to a sub-county and find that they don't have enough selection, or there is none at all, you just go back with 0 return. The only problem is that if you are given a certain number, you are not supposed to recruit more than that number. Once the number has been reached per sub-district, then there is no way somebody can come in. Even in 1982, what happens is that once they have reached that number, returns are made. Returns are made. There is a very small possibility. Let me be open-minded. Supposing in this recruitment center, they are supposed to recruit 20 people and they recruit 18 because they have, or even some people may even refuse to turn up or something, and they have not reached the maximum. As they are filling in the returns, they say, in this and this place, we recruited so many people. That way it can happen. But once they close the recruitment center, once they close the recruitment center and write down the returns, there is no way anybody can fill in that position. The position goes that way. I can tell you when I was a recruit, we used to be beaten a lot. We used to be beaten a lot by instructors, whereby if you made a mistake of telling them that you are tired and you can't continue with the course, they'd say, well, you, there was somebody else who wanted that job. Actually, the situation since the 80s is that rarely do you get people who are less than the number required. For example, you are required in one place to recruit uh, 20. You're supposed to recruit 20. What do? You find that you have 30 qualified people. 30 qualified people, and you're only allowed to recruit 20. It does happen this way. There is a time when, that time when I was being recruited in late 1982, we were called to a dais whereby we were told that all of you are qualified to be in Kiganjo, but we can only take as much as we are going to count. So if you find your name is not here, kindly note that you can come next recruitment because you are qualified everything. But if you come to the next recruitment, let me assure you, me here in this channel, let me assure you that if they call you again, you will have to undergo all those tests. You'll have to undergo all those tests. But they'll assure you that having reached this stage, you all are qualified, but we cannot take all of you. Then from there, the number that are taken, if say you are 30 and they need 20, they'll call out the best 20. The best 20 will come in this way. They'll try in that sub county, they'll try to, to, to squeeze in. They'll try to squeeze in people uh, to represent all geographical places. It would really be bad if a sub county they are recruiting, and then you find that all all recruits out of the 6 wards in the sub count in the constituency, you find that uh, two of the constituencies, two of the what do you call, two of the wards has more than 3/4 of the recruits. So they mix that. They also mix a lot of things. Just the way in the nation they want to represent different tribes and whatever. They also try to different villages and whatever in that. When they have discovered that they have more people. But once they close that place and write and return that this is what we have here, there is no way you can be assisted. In the past, I repeat for the third time, in the past, uh, it was a regulation which was in the 4 standing orders, which said that for every recruitment, the commandant in Kiganjo, there is something I want to tell you in mixing with this. There were 2 things that were there. One thing is that for every recruitment that goes on, let's say like now they took 10,000, isn't it? Okay, 5,000 to Kiganjo. It was written in the 4 standing orders that the commandant Kiganjo was given 10% chance to recruit whoever he wanted, so long as that person had the basic qualifications. That is why when you failed to be taken in a recruitment center and you happened to know anybody in Kiganjo, you'd go there. And this is how the Kiganjo used to share the thing. If the commandant, let's say like this time they were 5,000, that thing is no longer there, but I want you to get it. That thing is no longer there, but when it used to be there, like now they took 5,000, it means that the commandant in Kiganjo has an opportunity to recruit 500, 10% of that on anybody he wants, so long as the person meets the basic qualifications, as announced. Now, if he's given that 500 positions, what he'll do is that he himself maybe will take 50 of them and recruit, and then deputy commandant maybe will take 40, and then the directors will be given, let's say, 200. Directors of each training wing will be given 200, 200. There is the officer in charge of various faculties, law, whatever. And if it is, if you are the director of junior training or senior training, or you are the officer in charge of a certain faculty, if you are given, let's say you are physical training faculty, you are given 30 people, 30 position, you will take, let's say, 3, and your deputy will take 2, and then among the staff in your department will have in the rotary, eh, how wanapewa, then the other one will be given. Such things are the ones which used to happen. But I've told you that that system was discontinued. That system was discontinued. Another thing I wanted to say that was there and was discontinued, it was written in the first standing orders that in a recruitment center, when we have 2 qualified people uh, who are qualified for the position of being recruited into the police service or police force, and one of the recruits is related to a serving or an ex-officer, that recruit will be given priority. But as I said, the issue of commandant being given 10% is no longer there. The issue of relatives to serving or former police officers being taken is no longer there on paper. That time it was there on paper and in practice, but today it is not there on paper and in practice. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So once I said, once somebody has been recruited, that position is never filled in. It goes on um, until it goes that way. It can never be filled in. On the day that people recruits are at the recruitment center, and you find that you have so many people have been taken, even if you are the child of the commandant, even if you are the child of the dig, even if you are the child of the inspector general, you cannot be taken after the closure of the recruitment center. So when of those people who have recruited people there, it goes that way. I told you about Anthony Kipkoech, whom we were recruited with, but never followed us up to Kiganjo. He just forgot that way. Maybe those who know him, or maybe if I meet him, I'll ask him, what other kind of life did you undergo? That is how the number now goes, because all the people who are recruited on that day, not all of them will go to Kiganjo because of what someone will not even go. 2, there are those girls. I've said that in another video. Girls, I would say that when you are in the recruitment center and you're being recruited, when you are in the recruitment center and you're being recruited, you are found you are not pregnant, kindly abstain until you graduate, you pass out, then you can do anything. So you find that those things are happening. And then those 54 recruits, I can tell you that once those things have gone that way, now papers are going. The police said that recruited 10,000 people. The number starts from the day when people report to Kiganjo. Because in Kiganjo, they were supposed to go there 5,000. You'll find that some did not even report on that day. Girls who were not pregnant on the day of recruitment are now pregnant. Some felt that they have to celebrate being taken into the police. And in the end, she ended up being pregnant. That goes that way. Although what I want to believe is out of the 18 girls who became pregnant, I want to believe that over 15 got their pregnancy within Kiganjo. That one I would say that. But then you don't rule out the possibility that there are some girls who came uh, from home joining Kiganjo while pregnant. So that number goes on. The number goes on down. I don't know why they did not include the name, the recruit who died. There is a recruit when they were at Kiganjo during morning run. There is somebody who came. I think, oh, there is even another one who died. They didn't even explain how he died, but we know, or at least two died. One was hit by a vehicle. Another one died within the college, and even fellow recruits went and buried him. So I don't know why they did not include that. But the purpose of this recording was to say that it goes that way, that way. You find that every time, it is only that when you have taken your oath of office, mimi naapa kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu katika sheria za Kenya, uh, sita sitakuwa na mapendeleo, ewe Mwenyezi Mungu nisaidie. So when you have said that, that is between that time and the time when you are recruited, the number goes down. But the purpose of this recording was to reassure everybody who comes across, and please share it with as many people as possible. Tell them that once somebody has been recruited, there is no replacement. During my time in school, there used to be replacement, both in Form 1 and Form 5. This is what used to happen. Once you have done your once you have done your primary and you're going to Form 1, if you wanted to, if you are not selected in any school, or if you wanted to, you are selected in a certain school, but you wanted a school that people consider better, you would approach the head teacher of that school and say that we want to join your school and everything. So what the head teacher would do, in in most cases it was fair, but you don't rule out a possibility of some money exchanging hands. He would say, or she would say, wait for the second selection. Second selection was used to be replacement. Replacement for girls was easier than for boys, because you'd find in many places and in many societies, especially in the 70s, it used to be found that people would say, why should you educate a girl, and when she becomes a big man, so girls were not being educated. You'd find that the cutoff points would be this for someone to join Form 1 or Form 5 in a certain school. But because of various reasons, pregnancy, marriage, job opportunity, lack of interest, such and such a thing, you'd find that people would not be, that there would be vacancies in Form 1 or even Form 4. And that is where the head teachers would say, when you approach a head teacher and wanted to know if there is a vacancy on anything, he or she would tell you that wait until we see those who don't report, and then they'll replace that. But in police, that is almost impossible. Last but not least, and I think it is the greatest, I would appeal to anybody. Just ask anybody. You know that the certificate you are presenting, uh, the certificate that you are presenting to, or other testimonials you are presenting at the recruitment center, either you are using somebody, you have a cousin with the same name like you. Actually, there's another James Kwatenge. So he reached Form 4, I don't know. But you see, his name is James Tondo Kwatenge, and I'm James Lando Kwatenge. Some of my certificates are written James Kwatenge, so he can take that. But let me tell you, especially if during my time it used to be discovered, 1980s, it is now even discovered now. Why should you take a certificate belonging to your cousin who's your namesake, or you go what do you use a computer and print another certificate where you got a D for Denmark, you replace it with a B for Britain. It will be discovered. It will be discovered. Life as an employed person is hard, but let me tell you, life in Kingongo prison is much, much harder because of that. Why should you do that? Just don't go to recruitment center with forged documents. You will not pass through. That one I can assure you. I swear.